What's Next and the Star Prophet. Let's talk about JonBenet Ramsey. If you watch my channel or have read my blog, you'll know that I enjoy making all kinds of predictions, from geopolitical to celebrity and even unsolved crimes. If you're an American, you are most likely aware of the JonBenet Ramsey child murder case of 1996, which occurred on Christmas Day in Boulder, Colorado. It is, to this day, considered to be one of the most famous unsolved murders in recent U.S. history. And to this day, most Americans believe, or have been led to believe, that it was Patsy Ramsey, JonBenet Ramsey's mother, who killed the child in a jealous rage after years of alleged abuse. Since the beginning, I have claimed that it was not Patsy Ramsey who murdered 6-year-old JonBenet. The murderer was not John Ramsey, the child's father, or Burke Ramsey, the child's young brother, either. However, the murderer, in my opinion, was a trusted figure that had full knowledge of the family's financial situation, and had been in the house many times prior to the child's murder, and had even attended the family's Christmas party as an honored guest. But I'll get to that in a minute. With this in mind, it was downright frustrating for me to watch the media crucify the Ramsey family for years beginning in 1996, and to watch the recent CBS miniseries about the still unsolved murder case and their obvious attempt to reframe Burke Ramsey as the real killer was, to say the least, appalling. So, before I reveal who I believe was the real murderer of JonBenet Ramsey, I just want to give you the facts as outlined in Boulder District Attorney Mary Lacey's 2008 apology letter to the Ramsey family, a letter which received little or no mention in the mainstream media. Here's a sample of what she wrote in 2008. The murder has received unprecedented publicity and has been shrouded in controversy. That publicity has led to many theories over the years in which suspicion has focused on one family member or another. However, there has been at least one persistent stumbling block to the possibility of prosecuting any Ramsey family members for the death of JonBenet: DNA. As part of its investigation of the JonBenet Ramsey homicide, the Boulder police identified genetic material with apparent evidentiary value. Over time, the police continued to investigate DNA, including taking advantage of advances in the science and methodology. One of the results of their efforts was that they identified genetic material and a DNA profile from the drops of JonBenet's blood located in the crotch of the underwear she was wearing at the time her body was discovered. The genetic profile belongs to a male and does not belong to anyone in the Ramsey family. That's right, in 2008, the Boulder DA wrote an apology to the Ramseys and posted it to the department's website. And in that letter, she said in no uncertain terms that not one of the Ramsey family members was guilty of murdering that child. Instead, the murderer was an unidentified male. So, fast forward to 2016, and CBS, apparently the new kings of fake news, are still trying to manufacture a case against the sole survivor of the Ramsey family, Burke. But honestly, CBS is a latecomer to the JonBenet Ramsey fake news drama. It was, after all, ABC who led the charge against the Ramsey family in 1996, and right at the helm stood the ambitious young reporter, Elizabeth Vargas, who was more than willing to do anything needed to rise to the top of the ABC News family. And so she did within a year, and is now reported to be worth millions of dollars, despite struggling with years of drug and alcohol abuse, a bad habit that oftentimes prevented her from properly doing her job. So it is with great pleasure that I heard it announced just a couple days ago that Burke Ramsey is suing CBS for libel to the tune of $750 million, a sum, in my opinion, that is far too small, considering that there is one key suspect that no one in the media paid much attention to. But before I reveal this person of interest, just let me ask you this. Imagine that you're a 6-year-old child. Who besides your parents is the one trusted person that you would let into your home, no questions asked, on Christmas Day? Think about it. Apparently, authorities thought about it and identified family friend Bill McReynolds as a possible suspect early on in the investigation. McReynolds played Santa Claus in the Ramsey home, a perfect job for him considering his natural gray beard. According to reports, McReynolds instantly came under investigator scrutiny and was asked to give hair, handwriting, and blood samples, but was eventually cleared thanks to DNA tests. However, it wasn't until December 2003, 1 year after McReynolds passed away, that forensic investigators extracted enough material from the mixed blood samples found on JonBenet's underwear and determined that the DNA belonged to an unknown male. The police have not indicated whether they've compared this new DNA evidence to samples taken 20 years ago from McReynolds. They have also not indicated whether they ever took handwriting samples from Mrs. McReynolds either. There are some other eerie parallels between Bill McReynolds and his wife Janet and the Ramsey family that are worth noting, and I outlined them in the January issue of the Star Prophet magazine, available soon. Sadly, with McReynolds' passing, it is possible that we may never know whether he was the true killer, and we must not jump to conclusions without due process. The best that we can do is to wake up and demand that the mainstream media start acting with a higher standard of integrity and stop manufacturing fake news. We should also support Burke Ramsey's lawsuit against the likes of CBS in the hopes that they will finally learn their lesson. And please share this perspective with friends and family who are so convinced that one of the Ramsey family members killed young JonBenet. Based on facts, they're dead wrong. Thanks for watching.